I expect this to take about 15 minutes. It's not gonna take too long. For those that have, you're probably familiar with the way these things work now, but for those that this is the first time, just very quickly what it's about. We're going to have a very quick look back at what's been recently added to Garage Hive. We're going to then look at what's currently being worked on, what's coming next, and then we've got a new feature of office hours, which is just a refresher of potentially forgotten features. And then we'll drop into a Q&A. So we've got 45 minutes odd scheduled for a Q&A. So office hours is obviously created off the back of feedback from the community to just engage more with the community. As I said, it's going to be about 15 minutes. It's either myself, Dawn, or Reese who host these webinars. The aim is to improve communication around development decisions. So I can understand that sometimes it's frustrating when you see that we've released something without a reason why. So this is where you can question us why we've made certain decisions. And also, we really need to improve the awareness of new features. So we do release a lot of new features, and lots of them get missed, which is quite unfortunate because some of them are really cool. So this is just to sort of improve engagement with new features. And then really importantly, we want to receive feedback on the new features. So features, when they're released, they're not finished. They go through a refinement process continuously, and we improve those features. To reiterate, this is not to discuss new features. There is the ideas page where you put your new features on. This webinar is not about new ideas. This is about what we're currently working on and improving existing ideas. So the next idea that's chosen from the next feature that's been chosen from ideas was recommended by Fitch Autos. It's been very popular, and this is the ability to create purchase orders from VIEs and estimates. So this is just so you can preempt, order those parts easily without having to apply them to a job sheet. So let's say you're waiting authorization on a VIE, but you want to order those parts anyway. You're going to have the ability to do this. It's actually quite complicated to do this because we need to, at the point the work is authorized and transferred to the job sheet, we need to make sure that link is then with the job sheet, not the VIE. So this, should quite significantly improve workflow. So that's the next feature coming from ideas as voted for by the community. So what's been recently added then? So you'll know from the last office hours that vehicle visuals was released. We listened to feedback, and now with the refinement is that you can add a vehicle visuals video or a YouTube video directly to a service package. The reason this is cool is because if you utilize the whole VI to VIE process, if a technician selects that it needs a brake fluid change and you've got a service package linked to that checklist text template, it can now also automatically add the vehicle visuals explainer video or your YouTube video that explains why it needs a brake fluid change. And then the result of that is, of course, on the online authorization, customers can get direct access to those videos. You can subscribe to vehicle visuals through Garage Hive, or you can create your own content through YouTube and actually embed your own YouTube videos as well, which I'm looking forward to seeing some people do that. Again, fully automated process. It just makes the sales process quite slick with online authorization. We have now released the ability to access online authorization documents after they've been authorized. This was obviously highly requested, very much needed. Previously, if a customer authorized work, they then couldn't see what they'd authorized. Well, now that's been rectified. So when they authorize and they re-click the same link, they're going to get an approved online authorization where they can see everything that they've previously authorized and those total values. It just saves any complications and lets them reference what they've authorized. Moving on to some additional features then. So these are smaller features that we've added. You can now show the due date on posted invoices. This previously wasn't possible. We've increased the character count of service package descriptions to 100. People are using service packages in all manner of elaborate ways now, and we just needed to extend that description, which has now been done. And the ability to open a job card that's created from an estimate so that you can improve the creating purchase order workflow. So if you authorize work or you convert an estimate to a job sheet, you're going to get a prompt to directly open that job sheet. Very logical. Just improves that authorization process further. So what's currently in progress and currently in testing for the Garage Hive developers then? You'll be very pleased to hear. So we had a workshop on this a couple of months ago, and now it's in testing. So there is a new button coming to the schedule called Fully Booked. You tick that button, and it doesn't allow anyone to book any more work in. And then I won't go into the technical reason how, but online booking also respects this rule. So if you click this slider, online booking can't book in, no advisors can book in at all. So a significant improvement in the way that that's going to function. I know that was a frustration for everybody, and great ideas from that workshop, and yeah, it's come to life because of, again, feedback and ideas from you guys. Probably a bit of a niche requirement, but we've now fully added barcode functionality. So if you have items or lots in stock and you utilize barcodes, you can now import your stock with barcodes, and it will go into what's called a catalog. And whenever you create an item from the catalog, it's going to add the barcode to that item card. So I've added a new field in the item card called barcode. What's clever about that is when you're on a job sheet and you scan an item in it, and it's going to scan the barcode, it will then use the item search that you currently are all used to and show you the items that relate to that barcode as well. So works really well. It may or may not be useful to you, but it's now a fully supported function in Garage Hive. So anybody who posts job sheets on a daily basis in Garage Hive, this is going to be, you're going to be very happy about this one. So long time overdue. You post a job sheet, you get an error. You fix the error, you post a job sheet, you get another error. Those errors exist to make sure that the data is accurate, right? So there's a good reason for those errors, but it's very frustrating when you're trying to post a job sheet and you get error after error after error. So we've created a function now which will show you all of the errors in one go and show you how to fix those errors with recommended actions. So you get this pop-up of errors and then the recommended action to take to fix that error to post that job sheet. If you're an expert in Garage Hive, this is probably less of an issue. But if you onboard new members of staff, this is a lifesaver because they no longer have to keep asking you, what's this error, what's this error? And it really reduces frustration as well. So very simple feature that's going to have I think a quite a significant impact. And finally, we have in testing diagnostic questionnaires. So from service documents, you can create a questionnaire, and that questionnaire is to basically get more information from the customer about that job. So the one that we've used, so it's, you can use it however you want to use it, right? But the actual request was about diagnostic information. So you need extra information from the customer to do a diagnostic properly. You can now create your own questionnaires. You can send the questionnaires to the customer. It pulls that data back into the job sheet so you can actually see that information that the customer's filled in. This is currently not in testing. This is in progress, but you can see these are real screenshots from the development system. You can see how it's going to look, how it's going to function. It's going to feel very similar, like the workflow is going to feel very similar to what you're used to. And again, this was from the ideas. So I do want to emphasize that we really are listening to this ideas. It really is producing some really cool features based on your guys' requests and feedback. So it's been a long time coming, and I think that this feature is going to be very well received. The other idea feature, so this was the one that got onboarded. This was the one that got promoted from ideas to development last month. So this is being worked on. Again, customers are going to be able to very easily see the invoice that you're requesting payment for. So this one is currently in progress. So additional upcoming features then. So we're refining online booking to consider the scheduled available hours. So what this means, so this isn't the same as that fully booked. This means that if you set unavailable hours and that available hours reduces to 0, online booking will no longer allow a customer to book in. Even if you forgot to select fully booked, the system is going to understand it's fully booked and the customer can't book online, even if there is space on the schedule for them to book online. And again, highly asked for. We are refining / improving the online booking contact form to ask for more information. This is highly frustrating for lots of people. It was a design decision by Garage Hive, which we've got wrong. We've listened to the feedback, and we are going to be adding more fields to online booking, but it's going to be optional. This next feature is very clever, very complicated, but much needed, especially if you sell tires. So at the minute, when you see an item and you see a stock quantity, You just see the quantity that's in stock, but they could be on job sheets, they could be used. There are lots of reasons why that stock's not necessarily available stock. So we're adding a new column called available stock, which is going to look at various places in the system to tell you that actually this is in stock and it's available to use. Tires are a really good example of that, where you could see you've got 425 516s in stock, but they're on job sheets, so they're not available. So you could end up in a situation where you've promised a customer and you don't have those tires available. We're also creating manual selection for online booking. So where vehicle registrations aren't recognized, customers can go through drop-down list of selecting make, model, engine size, etc. for online booking improvement. For those that use Garage Hive Accountancy, today we have released a feature to significantly improve the speed of bank reconciliation, both manual and automatic. So you probably noticed it got slow. Now it's significantly quicker for those that are doing bank rec. We are adding a button. So this isn't the end game. This is kind of like a interim solution. We're adding a button that the customer can copy. If a customer leaves a survey and then you ask them to write a Google review, we're adding a button where they can copy text. So they can copy what they've written on the survey to very easily paste it on Google. The ideal one is that it automatically goes to Google. We get that, but this is just an improvement to what we currently have. And then the final additional upcoming feature is we are working on a feature that allows you to move a deposit from one customer to another. It's a scenario where you end up, particularly around payment assist, or if you've got a deposit on a wrong customer, it's a pain in the arse to move it to another customer. So we're trying to automate that process for you. And then the long-term development is obviously the integration with AAG. With any integration, it's complex, especially with a parts supplier. But we are actively working on the AAG integration, which means we'll be integrated with the big three parts suppliers by the end of the year, certainly. And then the forgotten feature, I was actually demoing someone on Garage Hive yesterday, and I just came across this feature. I forgot about it. It is absolutely brilliant. If you do MOTs, there is a button on service documents called Add MOT Attention Lines. What this will do is it will immediately look at the DVSA API and bring in the MOT failures and advisories. So if you are doing checklists for MOT tests, you don't need your MOT tester to write down the failures and advisories on that VI. You can just get them to do pass or fail with some comments. And then when you open the VIE, you press this button and it will automatically bring in every single line from that MOT test, failure or advisory, into a group for you to price labels and items into. It is a fantastic feature. Please try it out. It's one that I did actually forget about till I was using the system yesterday. So that brings us to the end. That was a bang on 15 minutes, I think, 40 minutes or so.